Hey, Joy.
Hey, Mirage. How's it going?
Yeah, good. How are you doing?
Oh, every day doing it. I'm
I
doing
know.
it.
I think we're going to learn how to fly. I think
hmm
we're going to do it
I think this is the
because
year.
things are so great. And
Uh-oh.
that's why we what happened?
Sorry,
What
I
happened?
accidentally pressed play on the live stream on my computer. Now the sound's coming out. Stop. There we go.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, there we are. We're back. We're here. We're
We're
living.
back.
Um, but yeah, what were we just saying? It's a wild and
Um,
crazy time.
yeah, it's crazy and it's stupid and um so we're just here because we love each other and we start talking to each other and we're like, you know what, let's bring some other people into our conversation because we need to start these roundtables back up.
Mhm.
And we're reorganizing. I'm gonna keep it.
Reorganizing. It's
We're reorganizing this the
jazzy.
platform.
It's got some pizzazz to it.
Ah, that's the word.
Yeah.
Reorganizing. We're reorganizing this year and decided that we wanted to talk about some heavy stuff.
hmm
Why? Because we always talk about heavy stuff.
We do.
That's our jam. And the other
hmm
day we were talking about, but we ended up on the riots this
hmm
that 2 Wednesdays ago.
Is it already been two? My God.
Yeah. Ooh, girl.
I really do keep getting surprised with how it's such a weird time way to experience time this era,
Yeah.
like it because we haven't had a day. It feels like there hasn't been a day of rest, and even in these last few days before this Wednesday, it feels like it's an eternity. And
It,
just
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
It's just been it's been crazy. And this is like the first time um that and I'm gonna start saying crazy again.
Mhm.
I think, I tried something else and I'm back to crazy. If it doesn't work,
Mhm.
please, I'd love feedback on that. But I have to, like, right now, the only thing that I can use to describe what's happening is crazy.
Mhm.
Um, but it's crazy because it's like one of the first times that I've been, watching television
Yeah.
and outraged and then like being like, oh, it makes me so sad, like being angry. It's
Mhm.
something that hasn't really affected me directly,
Mhm.
but about a condition.
Mhm.
That's what it's it's making me sick.
Yeah. I There's always a sense of yeah, I've definitely felt like a sense of unease in my body
Mhm.
every so often. Like it's one of those things where it's just, like you're just always a little the fact that I'm glued to the news on like,
Right,
either ABC7 or whatever it might be, I'm just
right.
like thinking to myself, I'm like, I've never been this concerned for this much time,
Yeah.
like consecutively. Like, I mean, that's what that means.
No,
But
it
uh, it's just so strange, and it makes me feel like, I mean, this must be what official adulthood is supposed to feel like. Um,
yeah,
but like it's
or
just
purgatory or something. I've
yeah,
I've been like, maybe
purgatory.
maybe we're dead.
Mhm.
Maybe we're all just dead. And I've said that more than once to people. And so far, nobody has classified me as insane
I
into
mean,
my face.
I wouldn't. I mean, there's nothing but possibilities, in terms of what's going on right now.
How
Uh,
could we, yeah, not be?
how can we not be? I mean, we woke up in March starting this, and we're still doing it. And I mean, still, I
Mhm.
guess you could, in the grand scheme of time, I guess it's not that long, but at the same time, mm,
Mhm.
life is both very long and very short, and it's very strange.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's real strange. Um,
but yeah, these
I
riots.
I think like the biggest thing that I've been feeling this past like week, which actually just kind of took me more offline. It seems like I'm online, but I'm not. Here and there
hmm
I'll post something. But is just the blatant. differences or the different way that
Mhm.
that even it's been displayed or portrayed online, when it comes to the Black Lives Matter protest and this whatever this other garbage is,
Mhm.
protest, the Trump stuff. It's just because it's just such a spitting in our face.
Yeah.
It's so just obvious.
It's aggressively obvious. And
Yeah,
it's the kind of obvious of the double standard where you can't ignore it. You could literally put
yeah,
just these two, experiences side by side. You literally can. You can show that via film or I guess,
yeah.
pixels or whatever the hell it is. But um, it's people were sitting in like in all of the many protests across the country after George Floyd's death. Just this sea of people sitting and chanting and saying just saying Black Lives Matter and then seeing them openly spray tear gas and rubber bullets in in like different cities too.
I know, I know.
And
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like the fact that there were people who were sitting down
yeah,
and they were like clubbed while they're sitting down. They would rip their mask off in the middle of a pandemic and pepper spray them.
yeah.
And we watched this, and what's kind of really crazy about it is that a lot of us were just like, oh, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Not like this is outrageous, I'm going to take it to the streets. We're just like,
Mm-hmm.
because we're so conditioned to that happening.
Yeah.
The fact that we have these other people that have taken on this cause or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
it's him being reelected. They hate it. All comes, they're taking it on as if it's their own.
Mm-hmm.
That's disgusting. And in the name of justice or unity, it's also disgusting because the basis of it is we're perceiving that we're losing control. Like we're losing control over over whatever we think we're in control of.
Yeah.
So like if someone like, for a long time, this country was able to tell people of color, if you work really hard, you're gonna be just like white people.
Ugh.
And
It's so icky.
it's gross. So if
So
you
gross.
work hard, a couple of you will be just like white people and just keep working hard, and then things will change. And for a long time, we did, through media and through opportunities, through a lot of other things, we were able to tell people things like, you're unattractive, you're ugly, you aren't as smart as other people, and all of that. And then we have this past election where people of color came back and they said, you know what? No, I don't think so. I think I'm beautiful, and I think that that my vote matters, and I'm going to try and do that. And it outraged people.
Mm-hmm.
It made them. That's where the outrage is from. It's the fact that they could be invisible in the wake of someone else's like independence or becoming or being seen.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah, girl, I can't.
It's so sad that so many people have the mindset that equality means something is being taken away from you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so disturbing because I've had so many conversations with family members who are, right leaning, if not just full blown Trump supporters. And it is so interesting to see like them being like, you say you want equality and then these things happen. And it's like, no, it's the thing is, it's already not equal. It's
Yeah,
already not equal. So this
right.
idea that you think that I have this desire of what equality is supposed to be like, or forgive me, let me rephrase that. This idea that I think that equality already exists and so I'm the one being unequal when it comes to keeping somebody accountable for their terrible actions or to, assume that the government isn't going to attack its civilians for protesting, and not for destruction and sedition and and pre-planned,
Girl.
anarchy. Like,
I mean, yes. When we saw that, we saw people just going up to fake people, statues, fake people, right? Those are fake people.
They literally don't feel things. They're objects.
They have a face, but can't feel stuff. So if you hit in the face or you try and knock their head off, it is still going to be same day as it was before. Mm-hmm. We saw people beating up statues that were getting like shot with rubber, people who weren't doing anything, just standing around the statues, but being shot with rubber bullets and being shot in the face and being hit and being
trampled by police horses. That really disgusted. Like, I don't know if you saw that video, but that was one of those things where I just thought to myself, I'm like, a woman was trampled by a horse? Is this the 1800s?
What?
Like it's one of those things that it's so horrific and it stays with you because it's not supposed to exist. It's not supposed to be something that is it's not supposed to exist, but it's also not meant to be something that is so widely viewed and nothing happens for it.
Right.
Like, that's what I can't get over is, like, we see it side by side. And we talked about this a little the other day of just how after everything that happened at the Capitol, how only 10 Republicans could vote to impeach Trump. Like, everybody picked up the same speech that they were going to say anyway before they all had to, go into safe quarters, and just was like, say, you know what, stick into my paycheck more, like more than their life.
Yeah.
Like, and that just shows such a devaluing of human life. Mm-hmm. And it's so scary to think about how the lives that were lost, or at least one of the lives that were lost, was like the woman who died was a supporter of Trump's.
Yeah.
And he has he doesn't care about her.
He doesn't care. I say it all the time. I say, everybody, y'all are living my divorce. Okay. Mm-hmm. One day I'll be able to say everything, but I'm still in litigation right now, so I can't say anything. So just ask me private message me. But it's everybody's living my divorce. Literally, this is we're being gaslit like crazy. Like, people a couple of years ago didn't even know what gaslighting was. Gaslighting is, I'm coming down to the Capitol with you. Let's go get them, and then coming back around and saying, I didn't say anything.
I wasn't there. It was Antifa. It was Antifa.
I don't know who that woman is. Yeah. It's so crazy. I mean, like, in the fact that we look at this and we have we have all of this talent and these resources in the United States, and we're looking at this and reacting to it like we're in elementary school.
Yeah.
Like, how can you not see the differences in the way that people are being treated? And how can you not see the differences and even the coverage? I mean, like, people who know me know that my father was killed by a police officer. He didn't have the opportunity to have someone videotape him and then say, well, this is what it looks like he did, so we're going to charge him with the least crime. And then we're going to take him back to court. And then we're going to try him for more things. And he could be in prison for like 6 years. I mean, these people were sitting at desks taking pictures with their feet up. Are you talking about some privilege there? I mean, I can't even.
and the sheer happiness that they felt doing what they were doing, like that's what's also so scary about it, is that it looked so what am I trying to say? I said, like, I told you, it felt like when I went to the Women's March for the first time for them.
Yeah.
Like, that sense of, like, community. We're all coming together to fight the power that is. But the way that they were fighting the power is the power of the vote, of the American people's vote, of which was still pretty friggin' close. Like, it's not like it was like the idea that this was stolen. Like, it was a close race, but there was no evidence. There was no evidence of fraud, and the fact that so many people who the counts of voter fraud were for people voting for Trump, like that, like it's so frustrating that every time something so basic and obvious happens, they switch it around and they say, no, that was you guys. And you're
Isn't
just
that crazy? See, that's the gaslighting I'm talking about. Like the fact that it's like, oh no, you did that. And you're like, wait a minute, I didn't do that at all. I wasn't even there. You know what I mean? And then no, you did it. You might have been out of your mind, but it was y'all that did it.
We saw it. We have it on video. And you said it. It's so much like middle school. I actually today I saw my my niece, who I love, and she's amazing. But you're freaking right. Gaslighting is a very childish technique. And it's kind of wild. Because what happened today, like it was fine. My niece, she threw her what am I trying to say? Her hula hoop, and like it hit me, and I was like, "Ow, dude, don't throw a hula hoop at me!"
Right?
And she goes, "I didn't throw a hula hoop at you," and I was like, "Maybelline."
Hold on.
Like, and she has the hula hoop in her hands now, and she's like playing with it. She goes, "I don't have a hula hoop," and I said to her, I was like, what this is called is gaslighting.
It's gaslighting. Let me show you right now.
And it was kind of remarkable because it made me realize, like, I was a feminist hippie protester from an early age, but I was gaslit all the time. Mm-hmm. Therefore, my credibility to like when a mean boy was like being awful to me in third grade, and I stood up for myself, the teacher, sees what's happening, goes, what's going on? And the boy says nothing. I didn't do anything. Nothing happened. And there I am saying, that's not true. Something very much did happen. And I mean, so inherent within us. Oh,
it really is. I feel like, the fact that we're always gaslit like this, like the fact that this is part of our natural, because I was starting to think about it after I started to really study gaslighting and all of that, after having been in a relationship where I was gaslit for like almost a decade. And I'm talking about true gaslighting. Like I'm talking about like I've disconnected your car battery, and then if I call and like, I don't know why my car isn't starting. Like, I don't know what's going on. Let me call AAA. So you call AAA for me, but then the AAA guy is like, somebody just unclamp his car battery. I don't just connected. So I mean, like it's or take things and hide them, and then you're looking for them and you're trying to find out like, where is this? I just had it, and then you find it like in their closet or in a closet place, and it's just a way they'll have control over you and try to make you feel that you can't trust yourself.
Yeah.
Right? And that's how we've been, and that's what kind of this whole administration is counted on. The fact that we don't have any type of we don't have the confidence in ourselves, especially as women and as people of color, that our votes don't count. Women aren't as important as men. These things are happening where there are inequalities, but one day they'll be fixed. If you keep trying and moving forward, you'll get there one day.
And then it's also all on the singular person too. I hate hearing that. Like it frustrates me to hear that. Like if you keep trying harder, all of these things that are working against you will not be a thing anymore. But it's on you. Like
right.
It's kind of wild how we've been fed that lie so aggressively and so shamefully, like the feeling of shame is what we run from in every aspect. If it's life, if it's improv, if it's relationships, the heaviness of the shame and the fear of shame is so I'm trying to think of the word. It's just so vivid in us. And And the fact of the matter is, we just don't have to feel shame for so much of it, or acceptance of that kind of behavior. But again, they feed us a lie like, no, you have to accept it. Look, you have brown hair, Joy, and you're not. I mean, let's be real. You're not the most Anglo-Saxon looking, so you're not gonna be a lead in anything.
My gosh.
It's like that same kind of like rolling justification as to why, because that's just the way it is.
Just the way it is. There's no changing it at all. I mean, we're told that all the time from when we were younger, but as soon as we hit school age, usually, how different we are. I think I told you about this when I was born and I was raised in Alaska, and then I had a lot of white kids I went to school with. Then I also went to school with predominantly Black kids. But in Alaska, like there were kids there that would always call their mom or mommy, and I called my mom mama. And it was always like this thing. It was a cultural thing, but it was something that made me feel so different than other people, just because of the word I had for my mom. And we do these things, and we don't. You know, I am an educator. You're an educator, and so I am pro educators, but also we could also mess some people up. I mean, like,
yeah,
really, some therapists are sociopaths.
God. Oh, bad teachers out there. There are some.
Because you have to know that you are creating the inner voice for this person that they will have for the rest of their life, you know? So then that's where that shame comes from. This shame for things that we don't understand, this shame for our culture, this shame for the things that we do in our family. And we take it on and we try and hide it from our society, or in our comedy, we try and hide it in our shows and all of that kind of stuff. Try and make it as wide as possible so that everybody can see it. You know what I mean? So it can be
so everyone can feel like it's accessible, as long as there's enough white people in it to make sure that it'll be seen by everyone.
Like everybody.
That is so. Oh God, you just said such a world full there of this. Like I know this and I've known this, but like I keep coming to this realization of just this white ownership of experience, and like the idea, like the one that keeps coming to me. I mean, it's not specifically white, but the idea of America and how what America means is the United States of America. It's not North America that includes Mexico and Canada, and it's not, and South America is also not American.
Right,
not what America
like, we're just like,
and the fact that we claimed that idea, and it's so icky to realize just how what am I trying to say? Elite. That's not right. What I'm trying to say. It starts with an E, but it means like I deserve this. Entitled. I had to figure that out. Thank you for being there on that road with me.
I love that you were thinking it too. Like, I deserve this.
It's there. The words in the ether. But like, it's just so wild. And that, like, when it comes back, like coming back to the storming of the Capitol, like the entitlement of all of those people who thought that what they were doing was so right and so what they needed to do. Like, that is so scary to me, because I get that feeling, just not that feeling about this, you know?
Right.
And I just, it's really heartbreaking and horrifying.
Where does it like stop? I mean, like, really, where does it stop? There is that inner feeling, like you were just saying, the same feeling that we feel when we're kids, when something's happening that's not quite right, or somebody's being bullied, and we're just like, you know what? I feel gross. That feeling of this isn't right. You know what I mean? And if sure, we have a race of people that have been conditioned to own people and sell their babies to other people for profit. Right. So this is like, not too long ago. And then we say, okay, women can vote. Yay. And then, you know what I mean? We get out of that. And we skip over all of this history that has actually gotten us to these points right now.
Yeah.
And the way that we take the power away from the people, these people, even of themselves, is to presume them as dangerous or ignorant or anything, instead of just to be seen as human. That's it. You know what I mean? It's like we've taken away the right for us to be seen as just human.
Absolutely.
And that's what makes me so angry here. I mean, it's hard to even articulate it, because it's like you have the nerve to like sit on a desk and take selfies and not be shot, or not even be scared of being shot. I think that's what's the worst part, is that you're not even scared of being shot.
No.
Like, you're taking selfies. Like, you're taking selfies. Like, why did you take selfies?
It's so clear. It's like, again, that sureness that, like, and you've seen those freaking no-fly list videos of the guy who gets tackled or whatever. I mean, like, they show him after he's pinned to the floor, but he's yelling because he's a no-fly list guy, and he's obviously a white guy, and he goes, "You're treating me like a black person."
I didn't see that, girl.
You didn't see that? Dude,
I didn't see that, girl. Some things
it made me like almost threw my computer against a wall. It was because it was so blatant. And it's like, you know, there's white privilege. You know that you don't think you're accountable for this. You know there's not equality. You can't fucking lie about that shit anymore. You can't say that it's not real, because there it is. People are experiencing it every single day, and we are seeing it every single day. And since Trump has been in office, it has gotten worse and worse every single day. Yeah. And you can't deny that. You can't gaslight yourself out of knowing that that's true. Like,
but it's like they want to live in this false reality, that keeps them good, because it's always black and white in this kind of situation. Black and white. Good and bad. And then for some reason, black is the bad one. But still, it's like black and white. You know, it's always on extreme poles. And, you know, even with the lady who tackled the guy for his own cell phone. Did you see that?
That, like, I believe she's from California, and I'm very like bruh about that whole, like, and to be so blatantly like dismissive, and to still not get the fact that you attacked him. You physically charged a child, and like, it's not even just the accusing. Like, we expect that shit, but like, which is still wrong. We expect it. But then to say to the person who's putting you on television, enough. And just to say, just like racism, like I can't be racist because I'm Puerto Rican. Of course not. I can't be racist because I'm Lebanese. Yeah, Lebanese people are super aren't racist. Like, unfortunately, that is like, we have to be better about changing the society that we grew up in and showing that we don't want to be that. And again, if you said, I realize my mistake, that's messed up that I did that.
Yeah.
I would have a million more times respect for you. But the inability to do even the bare minimum, like, that's how I feel about like Louis C.K. and Aziz Ansari, the idea of their apologies. Those aren't apologies.
Yeah.
Those weren't apologies. They were ways to stop being held accountable. For Aziz Ansari to apologize in his special, I didn't really see it, but like, that's not an apology. You don't get to get paid for your Netflix special.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Right. So you get to market your ignorance.
Yeah.
Which I guess is what this country does. Seriously.
It is.
You just said something that was just amazing, and it made me think. It made me think about like how, you know, the country is getting like worse, but it's not really getting worse. That it's actually just being shown. You know, we talk about it because we're both cancer survivors. Excuse me.
Hi. Sorry, all you normies out there who have normal cells.
Not trying to make you feel bad or anything, but
Ooh, oh, we look good.
Yeah. I mean, we did have cancer. Yeah, we're right.
We made it. We're living. We're here.
But we're talking about how like he is just the symptom, and everybody talks about he's a symptom. He's a symptom.
Yeah.
And he is, but he's the igniting factor. He's the gasoline. He's the
lump.
He is the lump. He's the lump that makes you know what's underneath. Because when you were talking about that first dude who was saying you were making me, or you treating me like I'm a black guy or whatever, that's it. It's already inside, right? So to me, I don't even understand that life, because it's like, are they being taught, look, this, I mean, don't, even though it's inside them, just don't show it. Like, don't show it to people, because it comes out in extreme anger. It comes out when there's entitlement, and comes out at these times when people are able to say, well, I deserve to say this. That's when all of this stuff comes out. And whenever it fucks up to them, we have all of this stuff happening at the Capitol. Well, yeah, we're doing stuff now. Why? Because it happened to white people. Yeah. But I mean, let's be for real about it. Like, white people have to cower in their offices, and they have to be scared. But how they pooped in there. They pooped. Like, what are we talking about?
And like, that's the base and vile, animalistic, refuse, like that's what's so confusing about it. These insane, like, again, animal wild instinct of just, I'm gonna fucking ruin this place for someone. Yeah. Like, that's the intent. And again, that which is what makes me so disgusted with every person who wrote on Facebook, look, I believe in Black lives or whatever, but I don't believe in rioting, and I don't believe in destruction of property, and now I can't go to Target to get my pickup order. Like that is so viciously evil.
It's so messed up.
It's so messed up. And the silence from them now. The sheer silence, and it's like, again, we've talked about this before with being cancer. We just don't give a fuck anymore, and it's the only thing you can tell. If you want actual legitimate advice from a cancer patient, don't freaking hide your words and your feelings when you know something is unjust.
Yeah,
when you know something is wrong, you go to the friggin' doctor and you tell them. Honestly, like, if I had gone like a month earlier, who knows how much easier the whole treatment would have been.
Right.
It's so, and like, again, like with calling, this whole cancer analogy of Trump and the QAnon and all this crap. It's like, you've known something's like when I can read
your mind. I can read your mind. Go keep going.
You knew there was something like starting in your body that something is wrong.
Yep.
But it's not enough for you to pay attention to it until the freaking lump pops out of nowhere, and you just think, oh my gosh, everything that I've known is now actually this.
Yeah.
And then it just then you get the biopsy, and then your nurse is like, oh yeah, no, this for sure looks like cancer. And it just keeps getting more and more obvious until you have to freaking deal with it. And
girl, you are right. You are, yes. Because, I mean, like, because we've both been there, where it's just like, we're the ones, something's wrong. And then, something doesn't feel right. This isn't right. In some way, shape, or form. Maybe a couple people are like, no, it's okay. You're fine. You look fine. You get to that one person that tells you have cancer, right? And then you get past that and you get to your biopsy. And then this was what this country is like. So there's no way I have cancer.
No way.
This is not a cancer country. I
I'm in
we don't-
LA. I don't get cancer.
Like,
I'm really liberal, so
I somehow opted out of cancer. I know I did.
sorry.
So I unsubscribed, and I know that I'm not on that list. And if
Yeah,
I
check it
am,
again,
I'm gonna
please.
somebody. I mean, for real.
Yeah,
So I'm
just
not
maybe
gonna be.
Google it or something. You know.
Can we finish my latte because I'm late? I mean, honestly, it's like it's just we're saying it right now to people. Look, this is based in inequality and racism.
Yeah.
This whole thing is based in inequality and racism. Trump has made it visible.
Yeah.
He's shown everybody what everybody's already felt. And also people who have been living this life, he's provided kind of like a visual, a structure of truth for us.
Mhm.
So that's another thing about this whole mess is like if we see people and they're putting their feet up on a desk and just kicking it with the American flag and all of that, and we're like, oh yeah, that's fantastic, and we think that it's I'm sorry, I'm so upset because it's
okay.
like I've been watching this for the past few days, and when I was watching it happen, and I was like, what is happening? They're hitting cops with American flags on federal grounds. I know that if you let a flag hit the ground that you're holding on federal grounds, then you could get arrested. So, but some people can hit a cop with a flag.
Just
explain that to me. I didn't hear that in social studies or anything.
To be able to have the audacity to push a cop on the Capitol steps and to have nothing happen, and to have those very cops and security guards and every single one of them fear for their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Also because they won't treat people equally in terms of human what am I trying to say, civilian a civilian riot. Like they just don't, they just know that they don't do the same thing. Like look at this, what a picture too. There's so much to this.
This dude is smiling.
Let's analyze this picture real quick. He's got, quite frankly, it doesn't look comfortable the way he's sitting. It's like, it's not like he ankle crossed it and like leaned back. He's got his left foot up, and he's texting, he's tweeting. He's like, yo, I'm here.
He's talking to somebody in there.
He's like,
he's not scared,
bro. But except he's like, oh my God. I'm sorry. Is that rude? But like, he is a Southern guy, so I don't feel
looks Southern. He looks Southern. He's got those boots.
He's got boots. I mean? He's got his hiking boots on. He hiked the steps of the Capitol. He like he's just pointing to like his dick, being like, look, like, I'm so proud of him. He got up here with me and he did it. It's so small, but it made it to the Capitol. Like,
everybody's talking about him, and you never thought he would do this, did you?
Did you, Princess Carolyn?
So I know you said I couldn't do it, Dick. You told me, but I know I can do. I know my potential.
Oh, he's gone back up in me. He's hiding. He's hiding.
Oh, he's hiding. He's inside.
It's cold. It's cold. It's a cold winter's day. Ever since the windows have been smashed in, there's a breeze. Richard Barnett.
Talk about the fact that he's in front of a window right here, right? I mean, like, really, he's in front of a window.
And that's,
I don't know. Did he bring that flag?
I don't know, or if he just. It looks like he probably brought it in. But it's also like so disrespect. Like that's the other thing. It's like, are you kidding me? Any freaking, person who yelled at Colin Kaepernick for kneeling. Look at this.
I mean, for real.
The flag is in a what am I trying to say? Like almost like a bundle on a desk, being completely like thrown to the side.
Well,
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just yes-anding you because I'm just like, yes, on the side. I don't even know if it's on a pole.
I
You know,
can't
if
tell.
flag, he brought the flag in. What was the significance of bringing a flag into Nancy Pelosi's office? It just, I mean, all of it just doesn't make any sense to women of color, such as we. It just doesn't make any sense to me that the smugness and how elated he is to be taking this picture with no sense of any type of consequence or anything like that.
That's the thing. The endorphins these people were feeling, like just breaking it down by biology and our brain chemistry, like this felt right to them. And that's so wild that like, I know so many people in my family who like, you know, you wouldn't think that they're of that same mind, but with their vote, that vote represents that. You can't deny it. You can't say that I voted and I'm not for that. Because that's the thing. We all knew that's what was being, what was coming out of the woodwork, like in droves. And like, I remember, I won't say who it was, but again, family member. I remember back in 2016, I was like, there's Nazis in the street. How can you possibly pretend that Nazis are a bad thing? And the person said, you're always talking about Nazis. Shut up about Nazis. And I was like, what do you mean shut up about Nazis? Every movie that you like in your, you know, your World War II obsession or whatever, it's about Nazis are bad.
That's just a regular, I mean, if you have no other idea of good and bad, you know that Nazis are bad.
You know it. You know it and you said it. And now you're denying that. Like, that's like the ultimate gaslighting. Like,
I mean, like, and the way that we're being gaslit now is being gaslit of our worthiness of existence, you know, our worthiness to have a voice at the very minimal, you know, and I think that's why, you know, like us working with Hollywood accountability and all that kind of stuff is it's so important, because even in Hollywood, the way that we work, we know that people are able to tell you, oh, I'm sorry, you're too black for this part. And they're able to do it. And then that's it. You know, we want this kind of or what somebody told me one time, you know what, you know how black women act. Like, that's how you need to act. Just how black women act. And I'm like, I thought I knew.
You know what we mean. That's so screwed up. Like the way that we perceive you, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Think like me. You know how black women can do that. You know, black women, how they can jump to your mind and know what you're thinking and take over your husband. It's just crazy. It's crazy. I just feel so, it makes me feel so, I mean, it's like when you see something happen and you want everyone to be as excited about it as you. You know, we've been living in this country and we've always felt this feeling of discomfort, like it's somebody else's house. You know what I mean? Somebody else's house, but we don't, you know, but it's our house. They've told us we can live here. It's great. This is all, you know, take whatever you need to from the kitchen and stuff like that. But they're always looking over your shoulder. So you don't really have a place to be. And that's how it's felt in this body, in this country. And we've just been okay with it. You know, okay, it's almost like having your stuff always in a, you know, the most important stuff is always in a corner in a backpack, just in case you gotta move. And it's I just feel like there's just a time. This is like a time to initiate change, and I don't even really know what that looks like, but I feel like it's a time. I mean, we've already done a lot for the past, but I think it's so much more this coming year. It just has to be, it seems like it's our voices that we need to be like tapping into, just speaking up first and foremost, speaking up, saying, look, I see you.
Mm-hmm.
I see you, white lady trying to take that dude's phone. That's his.
And like, oh God, I hated her excuse of, her apology was, I'm sorry if I made the dad and the son feel like I was being racist to them.
Yeah.
Like, I am not, like, if I have one pet peeve, and I have many, but if I have one, if I get to choose the only one, it's people saying, I'm sorry, you feel that what I'm doing is wrong.
Right.
Like, that is the most obvious and basic, like, brushing your issues off to the side to, like, it's saying sorry just to stop being in trouble. Yeah. And the fact of the matter is, no one feels better afterwards. Right. One just feels like they can run away. Again, it's a very childish way to think. It's
very much like someone took you over and said, now you have to say sorry to this person.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way that you're going to get out of this particular situation is just like you said, it's very childish, it's very schoolyard. Like, mm-hmm. Two kids and one adult saying, now you got to say it. Like, yeah, I'm sorry.
Sorry, a-hole, I hate you. Yeah. I'll kick your ass after school. Like, it's BS. Oh God.
Yeah, it's like so it's just like it's so immature, and it's something that we all like know is wrong, and we just still deal with it. And I'm just disgusted sometimes to be part of just people who sit back and look at it from that way.
Yeah. And the ones who know it's wrong but sit back because they're not only afraid to say something, but they can't tell what the stakes are supposed to be like. If they're supposed to, save their skin in this moment and, say nothing because that's a safer choice, which I get it. It's not a good choice, but I get why people do that.
Yeah.
But you just got to hope that they're going to nut up and say, hey, you know what? The way we've been treating people is wrong. The way I see you treating people is wrong. And it's vile. And you know better. You should know better. Like, if we're going to use shame, let's use shame in a positive sense. In like I remember I said that to somebody because this dude called out Lizzo for saying he thought that Truth Hurts was like a song just to be mean to men, and it was
please let's just talk again about those guys.
It's kind of amazing how those dudes show themselves, and it's also by the way, Lizzo is 100% more talented than you. It's kind of remarkable that you're trying to throw shade, but like I said to him, I just wrote, I was like, you're smarter than this. Right. You know exactly what she's saying with the idea of why men great till they got to be great. You're just using it as an excuse to say that women are sexist, which is like, what are you talking about?
It seems like it's a weakness. Someone who doesn't want to have to rise up. I mean, if with all what people say to people who don't have the same type of opportunities as others, they say, well, if you try hard enough, then you'll be better. But for all of that, what they're scared of is that someone else will take what they find is their birthright based on their efforts or who they are or their talent. They don't want to get up and actually do anything about it. They just want it to be their birthright. They just want it to be, this is what I deserve.
Yeah.
This is just what I deserve. I've talked to some incels. Oh my gosh. We got to talk about them. We got to talk about them and what they deserve. I even want to talk to them because I want them to be say stuff so I could be listen to yourself. But seriously, I mean, I look at all these people in this picture, and
is this the Women's March or is this the Capitol?
No, wait a minute.
only because there's so much pink. It made me
Oh, this
think
is Women's March. Oh my
oh,
God.
it is okay. Because I literally thought to myself, I was
yeah,
like,
you're just
what?
like, wait a minute.
What is this fun pink color that all
You're
those
like, hey,
white
they look great.
supremacists are wearing? Ooh, is that a hot fuchsia? Like,
You're like, they look fantastic.
maybe I'm on the wrong side.
Here we go.
Oh, God.
That's hilarious.
Just
We have more Trump. And
oh.
we have more Confederate flags and stuff like that.
That's the other thing. It's like white supremacists in other countries use the Confederate flag in place of the Nazi flag. And that's why I'm still so shocked. What am I trying to? I'm like combining shook and shocked. Like both of them. I'm floored that we just don't not only have that same kind of information being relayed to us enough. I mean, it is, and people are starting to listen now, but at the same time, like that is widely known in other countries.
Yeah.
But in our country, people defend it as its history. And it's like, yeah, you know what? The Nazi symbol is also history. You're right. Murder and genocide is also history.
Yeah, that happened. So, yes.
Rape and cutting off people's body parts because of their religion or their race or you know, just looking at them funny and they thought that they had more agency to do that. It's history. But at the same, and it was legal then too. And a lot of like, doesn't make it right.
It doesn't make it right.
Yeah.
And it, you know, and the idea that something, Maya Angelou says, people won't remember, oh gosh, I need to get it right. Won't remember what you did. They'll remember how you made them feel. I'm paraphrasing. But the way that we feel about certain portions of history, I know that when I watch something that's like in the 40s, I'm just like, this looks like racism to me. I will watch it. It looks like racism. Black and white movies look like racist. Yeah. But I mean, there are a lot, because there's a lot that goes, there's a lot of feelings that go back to a place that I wasn't even born during. And those feelings are kept by us. They're passed on generation to generation. And the idea that we think that we have to keep being reminded of them visually is just to induce pain and submission. Yeah.
Oh,
it's like,
God.
it's not that far away.
It's so true. It's true. It's trauma. It's reminding you of what you should not forget. You know, just so you know, the 60s weren't that long ago.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, it is heartbreaking to think that, like, especially in the world of Hollywood, right? Of this idea of what we can and cannot play, and of the roles that we can play. It's the ones to show you that the people who look like you suffered. And you get to portray suffering, which is like, don't get me wrong, I want everybody to get an opportunity to get an incredible historical drama. Yeah. But at the same time, like, I mean, like it's a point that like Dave Chappelle and Key and Peele make all the time. It's like, all you're doing is highlighting this darkness and it still normalizes it. That's the other thing. It's like what we think we're doing a lot of the time is shining a light to it, which is not untrue. But what I think it is more doing is reminding us, like, this is how we've seen history. And if you cross our history, I mean, it doesn't matter because you're going to be like, what am I trying to say? You're going to be privy to it anyway. Yeah. Might as well just get paid for it. Right. It's just like, I get that, but also we don't have any other options. We don't have any other way to go about showing stories. And that's why there's nothing new in Hollywood. No, we've seen every white story. We've seen a lot of white stories. We've seen a lot. And and which, you know, it's like the same issue that I have with like musicals. It's like we think that we have to go and now only do jukebox musicals of like, you know, I mean, I love Alanis Morissette, but this show doesn't look good,
like,
you know.
This isn't hitting it for me. Like, I am not.
There's a lot. Like we watched it on the Macy's Day Parade, and we were like, oh no, and then we Wikipedia'd the story, and like I love Alanis Morissette. Like I do an impression of her. I think she's great.
Yeah.
But the whole story is like, why did you sign off on this? Like, it's so stupid, and it just gives like anyway. I love
doing, you know, I love improvising those boardrooms though, when it's like, you know what, that's a good idea. I love it. Keep it coming. You know, there's no bad ideas. Come on, there's actually literally no bad ideas. Keep giving me ideas, because that has to be happening. Somebody's just like, yes, yeah, yes, because they don't want to work. They're like, yes, I'm writing it. Yes, perfect.
It's like our current history. It's like let's get a bright orange man who thinks he's incredible, and everyone gets like half the country gets convinced of this.
It's so crazy because it's like, why did we think that the host of The Apprentice wouldn't be a good president? Wouldn't be a good leader of the free world.
He's not a politician, Mirage. That's the appeal. He's not a politician. Therefore, we get the upside down because he's a businessman.
We get the upside down.
That's what we get.
Yeah, you know, and when you and I, we went in to get our treatments, we wanted a not doctor. Like, we don't want a doctor.
You know, what I think we've had enough of is just like the liberal media telling us about like what doctors do. And you know what? Actually, cancer is a hoax. You know what? Cancer is not. Okay, I'm writing that down. I just had this idea. We're going to write a lot of sketches.
We do this every time. We are going to write so many sketches.
Oh my God, cancer's a hoax. Oh my God, I can't wait to get like creative with you. More so than we already do.
We already have so many more meetings that y'all aren't invited to, but you will see the result of.
This is a bonus.
Bonus show. I want to do another one of these with you where we are swiping through these Bumble apps.
Sure.
Because I think that we would have some good. I just like some of them. I'm just like, why? I want to help people. You know, I don't want to. These don't work, but you know, like that guy. That's not a good.
I don't understand. I mean,
why is half of his face like?
Is he trying to make you fall in love with just his eyes?
Because I did accidentally match with him.
Oh, hey, congrats! What's his name?
It was an accident.
I mean, it clearly seems like the start of a really important rom-com.
We're gonna get
you know, I'm always amazed with like, there's like 4 pictures of like him like from below the, you know, below his chin, like angry, and then his bio will be like, not as serious as I look in pictures. And it's like, then why did you post those pictures? Like,
if you ever, and then like if you ever swipe on someone that has like a working out in the gym picture, and you say, hey, what are you doing? I just finished working out in the gym. You're like, that's so.
Did you just blue skidoo into that picture and came right back out?
So stupid. So we have to do that. We have to
I would love that. I'd also love to do a day of switching Bumble accounts and us swiping for each other.
Oh, please. Please.
We have a whole series just on Bumble.
That would be so great.
Also,
that's where I find. Oh,
go ahead.
I'm just like, that's where I find the incels. So you know, you wouldn't think, but it is.
Did you know that there were a bunch of women who changed their what am I trying to say? Like looking for status in terms of political to conservative, and they matched with a bunch of people who stormed the Capitol, and they would get them to say incriminating things about what they did, and then they send them to the FBI, and then Bumble like has suspended its political views portion.
What?
I know. Which I thought like the whole point is that like it's a women-run thing and they're doing it so it's like, look, you don't want to be surprised that you accidentally match with a QAnon dude.
He's gonna come up and he's gonna show up and sit on your desk and point at his dick. You're like, you don't know what you're getting in this. I mean, like Bumble, come on, Bumble.
I'm not afraid of a bad first date at coffee shop. I'm afraid my dude is just gonna come up with a racist flag and sit on my desk and poop in the corner.
Poop in the corner. Smiling at somebody, pointing at his dick. We don't need that.
Pooping in a corner. Love.
Only white dudes do that. Ain't nobody trying.
Honestly, though, you know what? That's true. Only white dudes publicly defecate.
What is that about? That's nasty,
and it's so frustrating. I have been in two that I can think of situations where a dude has just peed in front of me, and like not in like a sexual situation, just in like he's just like, oh, we're on the sidewalk, unzip, whoosh.
And you were talking to this like he's around you. See, I've seen people
different dudes at two different times.
I couldn't hold it. Ugh, that's entitlement right there.
That's different, and that's when you say, "I'm going to a corner. Don't look over here." I'm sorry, I have to pee. Like, I get that. What this was, you know what? I think it's, you know what? Joy's cool. Joy gets it.
Girl, I wish I was there with you because it's like me and my girls, and it's like, oh, look at that man dressed in like a whole bunch of flowers and a garbage bag. And we're just looking at him and stuff. And I was like, oh, wow, he's getting naked. Okay, turn your heads, girls. I mean, like that's
God, having to say that to your daughters, having to like have them like that's so sad. Like that's so sad. Like we as women are gonna with our children have to like say like, you know what? There's gonna be some people who just whip their dick out to pee because they don't care that you're there.
Yeah. Sometimes when your mom is running back into Second City to make sure her purse wasn't left, you will see someone in the parking lot doing heroin.
Yeah.
Like we should write a little children's book for comedians and their children.
That's awesome. You absolutely should. That would I would buy like 10 of those. Just for myself. My nieces don't get it. But like that's funny, and honestly, like when a kid turns like 13, I think is a totally appropriate book for a kid to read. You know, like it's a way to talk about puberty. Sorry, what?
No, they'll be like, I lived this.
Yeah.
That's truth. Yes. This is my life.
Mm-hmm. Little Sally walked down Hollywood Boulevard and smelled urine everywhere. And then there was a bunch of Trump people tooting their horns down like the street. Like, this is something you might have to deal with, Sally. Like, this is life. This is how it is.
Do you go to the improv show or do you try and find your mom?
I like that it turned into a choose your own adventure kind of thing. That would be awesome too. That would be a choose your own adventure.
Yeah, it's like, Sally, you messed up because your mom's in the show. So you have to do both.
Oh, but Sally, you twisted your ankle and you can't walk up the steps. Sorry, there's no elevator because we're not ADA compliant. Womp womp. Game over. Guess you're never gonna get on SNL.
Because all the agents are downstairs.
Oh, Sally.
You
should have had a less basic name.
Mm-hmm. Joy, I love you so much. Thank you.
I love you too.
This with me. This is so much fun.
Thank you for having me. I always love talking to you, and I can't wait to do more of it. When people aren't around.
People aren't around. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Y'all don't get to know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Do you want to say anything else? I'm good. I think I got hungry and now I'm like sleepy. We're always sleepy all the time.
I'm hungry, sleepy, literally 24 hours a day. So I feel you. Let's go get some food and some sleep.
I'm kind of Katie Couric. If you look up Katie Couric in the middle, she's doing these live streams, and I'm sorry if she ever sees any of this, but she's got that mom thing now where you just talk to somebody. I don't know, where you got that mom thing that's like falling asleep in the middle of what you're talking about. And she's talking about some big stuff, and she's like got the glasses, and she's like this, and then she starts to fall asleep, and you're like, Katie Couric,
Katie, you gotta stay awake.
You gotta wake up. That's Dr. Fauci, Katie Couric.
Dr. Fauci and her. I like the idea that both of them are just nodding off.
He did a lot of face stuff. Dr. Fauci looking like he's 65.
Fauci. So hot right now.
65ness. All right, Joy. I love you so much.
I love you
too. We're gonna do this again. And tell us if you want us to do it again. I know you do, but just tell us because
send us your topics.
Yeah. We'll do it.
We'll do it.
We ain't scared. We fought cancer. Hey.
We're not afraid of anything. Okay. I love you. Good night, Facebook and streams.
Goodbye.